Hey, this is Diesel. We really want you to enjoy the show, but I will warn you, there's a better than good chance that we offend you or somebody you know. So don't take it personal. This is not to say that we don't take our critiques and opinions seriously, because we do.
Yes.
We can just get a little, I guess you could say, out of hand at times. But then again, it is all in fun. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy this wonderful podcast called The Nobody Cares Show. Oh yeah, one more thing. We're definitely not professionals. We're just a few guys with big mouths and bigger opinions. So artists, please don't suck balls. Just kidding. Sort of.
Not really, but yeah. I like it. Straight, simple, to the point.
To the point.
Yes.
I'm gonna ruin my line. I know it.
I got my own rock band.
Nobody cares.
I got 1 million+ fans.
Nobody cares.
I can rock the mic.
I'm drinking beer.
I got a song you might like.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Show in playoff heat. Lake Show represent. We trying to repeat.
Kobe in the finals, but I'm the Jordan of hosts. Banging on the mic cause I'm doing the most.
If your song really sucks, you might look like a fool, like Baby Davis when he decided to drool. And I know in Game 4 we might have taken some licks, but I'm still picking Lakers to win in Game 6.
Yeah.
I'm hot for real.
Nobody cares.
I want a record deal.
Nobody cares.
I play a mean guitar.
Nobody cares.
We're all superstars.
Nobody cares.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Yeah.
Love.
That whole drooling thing, I don't know how you get so excited on the court that you start drooling on stage like a spastic retard.
That's Little Joe.
No, that's just when Little Joe speaks. That's just every. Yeah.
Hey, leave my friend alone.
We miss you, Joe. Not really, but yeah. we miss you, maybe not so much on the show. Welcome to the Nobody Cares Show.
That was funny.
Welcome to the Nobody Cares Show. My name is Jekyll's, and as always, I've got at least two of my good buddies with me to do the show.
That's true.
Shouts out to O Squared. Hope he's doing well. First of all, there's Tiny AK Little Home.
Zap.
And JJ Diesel.
That.
There it is. All right, well, in case you don't know what we here at the Nobody Cares Show are all about, Diesel kind of explained a little bit. We're our show that listens to the music of independent artists. We critique it and we rate it. We're not professionals. We're basically basing our opinion off the average consumer and what they would say if they were to listen to it.
We're basing our opinion off our opinions.
Yes. And that's pretty much what it is.
Right?
And we have a rating system that we've developed here that we feel pretty much, defines where your song's at.
Yeah.
The worst rating is never listen to it again on purpose. After that, it would be listen to it on the radio without changing the station. If it's a good song, we might LimeWire it or download it illegally. After that, we'd spend a little change on it. That's by the single off of iTunes, and our best rating is by the album, which is the goal.
Absolutely.
Definitely the goal. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this thing started by turning it over to Tiny.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks a lot for tuning in with us, for all you old school and all of our new listeners. Thank you guys so much for giving us a listen.
Yes.
Yes.
If you haven't yet, check out our website, nobodycareshow.com. We have a player right there on our main page that you can check out past shows, and you can check out some of our old school shows, and we're trying to update it so that we have all our shows on there. So if you want to catch up, that's one way you can do it. Also, you can
Yeah. I was gonna say, with the limited shows that we've been doing, just because of certain restraints or whatever, it's a great time to catch up now.
It's a great time, yeah.
So please,
Excellent.
please.
And another way you can catch up is you can go to iTunes, subscribe, and try to download all the shows there. Just go to the iTunes store, search Nobody Cares Show, and then subscribe and download and listen.
Do it.
And enjoy.
Yeah.
And spread it.
Hey,
Spread it.
treat yourself.
Yeah. Those are easy steps.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to leave us a message, you can email us at nobodycareshow@gmail.com, or you could leave us a voice or text message on our heat line, 909-905-907.
Yeah.
That
You're only two numbers off.
yeah. 909-907 4328.
Very
That's
good.
909-907 HEAT.
Yes.
Feel free to give us a call, leave us a message, whatever. Make sure you check out Jay and Dirty Bob Show. It's on iTunes right now.
Do it.
Catch up.
Do it.
And catch up.
Mustard.
If you aren't caught up
Relish.
already, just go to the iTunes store, search Jay and Dirty
Ketchup
Bob
and
Show.
relish it.
Subscribe.
Stupid. Oh my
You're
gosh. You are. There's a chance that joke made my night. I'm gonna get it in such a worse way. I don't know if that's how pathetic I am or that's how good the joke was. Maybe both. I don't know.
Maybe
Both.
maybe a
I
combo.
think a combination.
Hey, don't be a hot dog. Ketchup and relish it. Oh, look what you're doing to me.
Oh, man.
You're making me a retard.
I don't know, but that joke really cut the mustard.
Oh my god. Tiana and his zingers.
I can't think of it.
So I'm not retarded like you.
He's all, I don't know, I'm kind of in a pickle right now.
Look at him. He's on a
I'm in a
roll.
pickle. I'm in a pickle right
There
now.
you- Nice.
I
Hey.
just stole that one for Juggos.
No way.
You need to stop all that baloney right now.
No, we're going to different food. That we're just saying.
I don't know.
That was all right.
Yeah.
No, that was okay though. Oh my gosh.
We are awesome.
Yeah, I second that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Jay and Dirty Bob Show. Catch up.
You hot dogs.
And relish it.
If you wanna ask them a question, food related or not,
Yes.
you can email them at jayanddirtybobshow@gmail.com, or you can leave a voice or text message on their heat lines.
909-547-HEAT, 909-547-4328, or 828-5-DO-WORK, 828-536-9675.
Hooray! So with that, let's get into the first song of the night.
No,
Did I-
no emails or anything tonight?
Nope.
Dang.
Did I tell you when I got 3 songs tonight? Did I tell you that?
You just did.
All right.
Fantastic.
Inside We Die. They do metal / progressive / thrash. They are from Kenton / Massillon, Ohio.
So what do they do? Metal?
/ progressive / thrash.
I don't
Metal progressive /
Metal.
It's metal / progressive.
I put metal / trash. Or thrash. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean they could do.
I know what they're. I know what they're. I know.
They play hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Inside We Die is a metal band that resides in Canton, Massillon. I'm just gonna say that area. They play heavy metal, but are not afraid to take it a bit softly, as well.
Anti-hard.
Yes, to a unstoppable, crushing
Soft.
extreme.
Wow.
Okay,
A soft, crushing extreme.
unstoppable, crushing extreme.
I think they cover the whole spectrum, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's
Right.
what. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to say that in a manly way.
Yes. We wear dresses in a manly way.
Yeah. All right.
This
The
is
name of this
sweet.
song is "Never Stop."
Oh, I got you.
And this is Inside We Die.
All those times I remember I was just a pawn to you, lacking trust from a memory, a brief instant of an evil gun. Through it all, right behind you, guilt of honesty, let us try. Seal scars like an hide, even with the strength I hold. Told the grace, you will take it. Yet somehow I remember deceitful words and hollow eyes, a devil with angelic disguise. Hold my breath, except that maybe it's all in my mind. Maybe not. Am I crazy? Someone help me decide.
All right, that was Never Stop by Inside We Die. If you want to check out more of their music, you can go to myspace.com/ metal
Mania.
decom METALIWDCOM.
Uticum? What?
Yeah, I don't know. Or if you want to email them for anything, you can email them at address those emails to Matt.
Oh,
And you-
IWD, Inside We Die.
Oh, nice. IWD.
We're idiots. Very, very good.
You know, we are awesome.
Yeah, we are awesome.
You can email Matt at mhb100@aol.com if you want to check him out live. Next show is with Flaw at Carriage House in Louisville, Ohio. Or you can check him out July 17th at Ruben's Pub in Massillon, Ohio. Or you can check him out August 21st or 22nd at Carriage House for the Carnival of Chaos outdoor event. Or August 28th at Brimstock Music Festival in Minervia, Ohio. Minervia. All right, let's do it.
Nice.
I'll go. You know what? I wouldn't mind an intro. I like intros sometimes. This is one of those times. The thing is that first of all, you're definitely, I think, a better screamer than singer. I thought the first part of the when you got into your speciality, as I called it, your wild, and to me that sounded more natural than the slow part when you're I mean, it wasn't a bad sound. It wasn't quite right for me, and I don't know why, but your voice wasn't quite there for me as far as when you were singing. I thought I guess, like they would say, Jackson Time said, I guess the concept of the song is pretty good. Maybe you guys just need to keep working at doing the softer stuff. You guys definitely seem like you were more in your element when you guys were rocking and you were screaming, and I thought you guys' musicianship was really good. But it just didn't, for me, it just really didn't go together very well. I guess you could say it wasn't executed, very very well.
Was it like the difference between the soft and the hard?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it just kind of, I don't know, it just didn't really go very well for me. Maybe it's just because of the way they executed, or lack of execution as far as the slow part. But they definitely seem a lot more in their element when they rocked out. So I actually enjoyed that a lot more, to be honest with you. And that's pretty much it. Tony?
Yeah, I'm actually almost the exact opposite.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like the slow part. Maybe just because it's more of my preference of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Than opposed to the fast stuff. I thought when you got fast and you got to the screaming, I thought you guys did a great job. I just didn't like it as much as the slow part. I thought your voice kind of reminded me of maybe like Eddie Vedder, but not as
Good?
polished. Yeah.
Not as good?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a young Eddie Vedder.
This is when he was Edward Vedder.
Yeah.
Before he got better.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, I thought the instrumentation was fine. I liked the contrast of the slow and fast. I didn't mind that at all. The transitions in between could have been maybe a little better, but
Yes.
yeah. But I thought overall pretty all right song, and I think my thing is just I'm just not into screamo music, and so that's why I like the slower stuff. I think just a little better. It's just my personal preference. So that's where I'm at.
Right on, Jekyll's.
I'm emotionally torn with this song because there's parts that I liked and parts that I didn't, and I'm kind of gonna agree with both of you on some things and then disagree at the same time. So Inside We Die, Never Stop. First of all, I agree with Tiny. I liked the slow part because I liked where it was headed. His voice didn't completely bother me, but it almost seemed like he was trying to force it to be throaty. I don't know if that was his normal singing voice. It's almost like he was forcing it to sound that way rather than just singing, which kind of threw me off a little bit.
Like he was going for a certain sound. And
Right.
Right.
But I like that part of the song. I like where it was headed because I also appreciate that style of music. But I also agree with Diesel that when it went hard, you were playing more solidly together, and the sound of the band itself sounded stronger, but I didn't enjoy that part as much because I really don't like screamers.
I do.
But actually, my favorite part of the song was just before you transitioned back into the slow part where it really got hard. When you guys were doing that part of the song, the musicianship and everything sounded real. It sounded real solid. It sounded very tight into each other. The drummer was hitting his double kicks on the bass drum and everything. It just sounded really tight. But then you guys did that pause, and then all of a sudden started playing slow again. The transitions, like Tiny said, were not very smooth at all. I would love for you guys to figure out a way, since you're keeping the same tempo, the tempo's not changing, find a way just to transition into both without doing the pause in between. Because I think the pause in between really takes you out of the song, and then you present the new part, and it's just kind of like, it doesn't really give you time to like really adjust to it. It's just like abrupt. But if your transitioning is smoother, it can be better. Overall, I mean, it was a decent attempt at a song. I just don't know how I feel about it because there's things that I like about it and there's things that I absolutely hate about it.
You say a decent attempt at a song?
Yeah. Because the ideas are there. I just don't think they were executed right.
Yeah.
Even the recording, like, they each did this little solo part. You could barely hear the bass solo when he did his little riff. Like, it's just, it's bad.
Well, what's your vote?
It's weird because I like parts of it, and
right.
I think overall, if it was on the radio, I wouldn't change station.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, radio. Tiny?
I'm gonna lime it.
All right, get your lime on.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, your rating is going to be radio. If it was on the radio, we wouldn't change the station. So, it's not bad. I think everybody liked parts of the song. You just got to find a way to make them all fit together better.
Yeah,
You're not the worst band we've ever heard.
No.
By far.
No way.
Yeah. All right. Well, something that never seems to be bad is a little segment on here we like to call JJ Diesel's Jibber Jabber.
Well, all right. The first thing is I got to play Phase 10 with Shorty today.
Nice.
Haven't played that in a while.
It was fantastic. It was before you guys got here.
All right, I guess you won.
Actually, it was tight. But I didn't have time though because I had to, go give the baby a bath and feed him and stuff like that and wake him up. So we ended up actually being tied 2-2. Just real quick, what was funny is when she got her card, she got them kind of mixed up. So she was like, she had 4. You get 10 cards,
right?
But she had 4 cards that she was looking to get a little run, like a 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever.
Right.
Well, she had 2 of them facing me and 2 of them facing her. So and I was like, oh, nice. And she's like, oh, shoot. And instead of fixing them all, she just turns them around. And I was like,
you saw all her cards.
all right, thank you. She's like, ugh. So then she puts them all together and sets them on the table, right? Face up. And I was like, just to make sure I don't forget what I saw. And like a hand or two, and she looked, oh, man. And I was like, oh, my gosh, there's something wrong with you. So that was fun.
That's awesome.
And then she took me to a T-Burger a few days ago. Hadn't been there for a minute. Fantastic, as always. Had the Azusa special.
Got to.
Delicious, I'll tell you this. So I missed it. I was glad to go, and what really made it awesome was that, you know how you have the Chili's with the burgers, and then
Yes.
after you do that, you take a drink of your drink, and then you rub your eyes with a chili hand. That's what makes it the experience of a lifetime.
Makes you want to just shed a tear, huh?
Yeah, I was having such a great time. I cried, but that's guess that's how that goes. But she also it's funny because Shorty gets I don't know, it's maybe I haven't heard of. She's the only person I know that has this. I'm sure other people do, obviously, but I haven't heard of it. It's like she gets every day she gets an alert of like little fun facts or little weird little things, which is cool. And one of them I just thought was really funny. It's called it says the ultimate insult to injury, and basically back like in the medieval times, you know, when they would like burn witches and stuff like that. They would make the families pay for the wood to burn their family members.
Oh shoot!
What?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
thought that was a little funny.
That's so messed up.
That is the ultimate insult to injury. So I was like, oh, aptly named. And then I know this happened a few games ago, but we haven't, really had a show. So I didn't want to say I thought it was cool what Ron Artest did, and paid like $18,000 for game one for tickets and gave them to fans. I thought that was very cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
Eight-
I know he's a
$18,000.
I know he's a freaking space cadet and he's a weirdo, but he definitely has good qualities. But I think that's a cool thing to do when anyone goes out of their way. You know what I mean? And you're gonna give these people that don't mean nothing to him. That's not the point.
Yeah.
That's not the point. And I think when athletes and stars and people like that do that kind of stuff, that kind of goes a long way with me. So I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's probably the first time there was anybody down that low that was actually cheering.
I know, seriously, that wasn't on their BlackBerry or late or yeah. We're so Hollywood. So anyway, and then I was listening to the Colin Coward in the morning. He was saying this. This was funny. He was saying that they found a prosthetic leg. Not them, but I guess South Beach, Florida. On the beach, they found a prosthetic leg on it, and they don't know who the owner is, and the only thing on it is a Willie Nelson sticker. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty awesome. And then I also heard on his show one of the guys. I forget what. Actually, it was on. I think it might have been on the. It was on his show. It was on one of the shows, maybe Peterson. I can't remember which show, but they had a guy on there, and his son went to the Jordan camp or whatever. And I don't know if this was a joke, but I thought it was funny. He was like, yeah, he's like, my son came back, and he's like, what Jordan told him? He said, when you get the ball, shoot it. And if your teammate has it, steal it from him and shoot it. I just thought that was, but he said it seriously and wasn't laughing.
That's
so
funny.
I'm sure it was a joke, I'm assuming.
Right.
But or maybe Jordan really said that, but to make an impact on him, like obviously you're not going to steal it from your
Right.
teammate. Well, I guess Jordan could have. It wouldn't have mattered. But I just thought that was really funny. And then last night, in the middle of the night, got woken up very abruptly because for whatever reason I slammed my face in the wall. I don't know why. Because me and Coco, the bed is against the wall. Well, I guess. See, I've never woken up before, and I've hit my head on the wall. That I could probably get too close to the wall because I've asked her. I hit my head on the wall, right? She's like, yeah, every now and then, like I'll hear you hit your head on the wall, or whatever. I'm like, well, what do you do? She's like, I just laugh. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, yeah, there's nothing you can do. I woke myself up. Like, I'm not kidding you. When I woke up, I was sitting up, so I sat up and like headbutted the wall and woke myself up. So I awoke sitting up and my face hurting, and I was like, oh. And I told Coco, she's all, is that what that was? It kind of woke me up. I smashed my face in the wall and I don't know why.
That's awful.
So that kind of sucked. Like, it hurt. I was like, at first I was freaked out. I was like, oh, my face hurts.
You go into work with a busted nose, like, what happened?
Dude. Yeah, seriously. The wall kicked my ass. It was awful. And then a couple of things that I watched. Actually, one quick thing. I did a good deed, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I think
How did that had to be a mistake?
no way. This was premeditated, my friend.
Really?
Here's what happened. Okay. It's not the size of, the thing that you do. I think it's what, is behind it. You know, it's the like you don't have to do a big grand thing to be, you know, to do something nice
Right.
or even spend money. This was on the house. This was free. It didn't cost me nothing, and it didn't even take any work, which is probably why it happened. What happened was Coco still had her Mother's Day balloons, right?
Right.
So what I do is, you know, the flowers are old and they're pretty much like potpourri. You know what I mean? The flowers, take them out, and she had like a total of like 3 or 4 balloons, the little Mylar ones. So I was gonna pop them and throw them, you know, in the trash. What I did was I left the flowers in there, whatever, threw them in the trash, and left the air in the balloons so that when the trash man opened it, balloons popped up. And I tested it out. I opened it up. Whoop, the balloons came up. Is that cool?
A little present for the trash man.
Is that nice?
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Diesel, that is ingenious.
Thank you.
You made his job so much happier.
I just try to be nice. I mean,
So surprise! You should have
Happy
a
Mother's
surprise
Day.
sign tied to it.
Happy Mother's Day, Juan. So I just thought that I was, you know, because I was gonna pop them with my knife, and I thought about, saying, you know what, I think that'll be a cool treat, and I tested it, and it worked fantastic. I just wish I could have seen there. I wish I could have like been there, seen it when he actually opened it up and the balloons came up. You know,
Yeah.
that would make me feel good. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That'd make me feel good. I didn't even care. I don't care what they said. If it said Happy Mother's Day, you know what I mean? Like, congratulations, you know, hey, graduate. I wouldn't care because I think it's a nice thing. So you're welcome. And then a couple things real quick. I was watching Operation Repo, and this was a funny one. Well, they're all funny to me, but not because, you know, I like to watch people get their cars taken. I just like to watch the reactions. Like, I don't root for that. But this guy was on the roof with he had a hammer. He was working on his roof. And so Matt, the big guy, was like, well, if you want me to go up there, I'll go up there so I can show you the paperwork, this and that, whatever. So the guy has the hammer, and Matt's all, put the hammer down. Like, dude, like, just put the hammer down, because they've been through so much wild stuff, you know. He's like, just drop the hammer. And so he's like, no, don't come up here. He falls off and falls onto his car. He fell off the roof onto his car. So that was pretty awesome.
Oh man.
And then I saw I just started watching this. Is actually pretty funny. That show Pranked on MTV. I just thought about that show's pretty good. This guy, he was a dentist, and his mom needed caps, so he gave her a gold cap. It was like a joke. She didn't even know it.
Oh,
She's
awesome.
on her way home, and that's what she's like, oh, like, how do you like it or whatever. And she looks, and she's got like a gold a gold tooth. So I thought that was really, really funny.
That's dope.
And then this last thing, I told you, because I have the MTV 2. They're showing Bully Beatdown, so I watch that at times.
That's funny.
And this I haven't seen. The Bully, basically, you know, all these bullies are dicks. You know, they do mean things. Sometimes they've caused surgeries. You know, we've all seen that. Well, the guy that was getting bullied, basically the bully gave him the world's worst wedgie, and it ripped his butthole, and he had to have surgery.
Oh man,
Are you serious?
Yeah, not kidding around.
so gross.
And I was like, I don't want to laugh. Like, I just don't want to laugh. But
Wow.
but what was funny is what's his name? I forgot his name now. Mayhem, whatever.
Rampage?
The fighter Mayhem, the one that hosts the show.
Yeah.
Right, right. He's like, all right, okay. So he's like, okay, apologize, this and that, everything. They squash it, and the man's on one more thing and gave him a wedgie. Like, he yanked up his underwear. So I thought that was pretty funny. But try to watch that one. I can't remember what it's called, but basically, like, he had to have surgery on his butthole because the wedgie was like almost sliced him in half, I guess.
Oh man,
That's gross.
What kind of underwear you're wearing that would do that to you?
I don't know. What does it matter? It's a piece of cloth. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, I don't think. That's why I don't wear underwear. No, I'm just kidding. That's gross. I only wear underwear, no pants. No, that's gross too. You're welcome, ladies. So that's pretty much it, and thanks for listening.
Thank you, Diesel, for your jibber jabber.
Sure. How about that balloon thing? Is that a great idea?
That's
that is a
awesome.
good idea.
Yeah, I thought so.
Understand.
Yeah.
All right, Tiny. Let's go ahead and get into some more music.
All right. This next group goes by the name Hollywood Video Game Killbot. And they're from Lenox, California. And they do 8-bit / rock and roll. The instruments that I use are Korg DS10 for the Nintendo DS, electric guitar, MIDI keyboard, Session, and Reason 4.0. And the name of the song is called Smash That Drums.
Smash That Drums.
Smash that drum. Politics without no future. Reason without question. Representative without no emotion. Pollution without your cause. Feelings left without no doubt. Romance in a state of confession. Open yourself in a surgery of your faith. Factor in a selfishness of hate. Chop yourself again, putting us in the ground. Don't dig the hole. Don't lock the bars. That a rhyme goes in time.
All right, that was Smash That Drums by Hollywood Video Game Killbot.
I'm going to smash my cans.
If you want to check out more music, you can go to myspace.com/Hollywood Video Game Killbot. If you want to if you want to email him for anything, you can email him at Chaconzach.
Chacon!
CHACONZACH at yahoo.com.
Zach.
Yeah. As of this moment, I do not have any tour dates, but will in the future. The song I'm going to send to you is called Smash That Drums. Hopefully you like it. Thanks, peace. All right, let's do it.
All right, Channy.
You know, when the song first started up, you know, I was like, oh, look at this guy trying to get on Yo Gabba Gabba.
I was thinking the same thing.
But then as the song progressed, I'm like, dude, this song wouldn't even get on Yo Gabba Gabba.
Nope.
Um,
So get on Yo Crappa Crappa.
Wow.
Yeah, you had some pretty interesting ideas in there, but I just want to throw you an idea. Try to use loops with the same BPMs.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Or quantize.
Yeah. Or quantize.
Yeah, or synthesize.
Yeah. Synthesize.
Synthesize.
Or sympathize.
Thank you for selling that.
I tried, man. I tried.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah. So, I like some of the ideas you had, even when it was all offbeat and stuff, I like some of that stuff. I would just like to hear it just a little bit in a little more organized manner. Maybe that was what you're going for, and if you're going for that kind of unorganized, kind of eclectic sound, then congrats, you got it.
Way to go.
Yeah, way to go.
But you might be the only one who appreciates it.
No,
Yeah, well, you know what?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes that's pretty much all who needs to appreciate the music is that person. So
True.
So I mean, if you're looking for commercial success with this kind of stuff, I would say maybe look elsewhere. You know what I mean? Maybe try different styles and different things. But if you're just making music to have fun, and to be expressive artistically, then do whatever you want.
Yeah. You know what? I think people that make this kind of stuff, that's what it's for. You know what I mean? Because there's no way that he's like, oh, I'm gonna hit it big with this. You know what I mean? Not to be a jerk, but there's no way that they think that oh, I'm gonna be on the radio or I'm gonna, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
maybe if you have any like digital artists that are having like galleries or showings or whatever, maybe you can get this kind of this weird electronic weird stuff to play at those types of functions.
There you go.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas, man. Just trying to help you out. All right. So good deal. Thanks for submitting. And next.
All right, Jekyll's.
I'm disappointed that I will never be able to get back those last 2 minutes of my life while
Why?
listening to that song.
Not good, huh?
Yeah. Here's the thing, dude. It took absolutely no talent to put that together. You chose 2 different drum loops, pasted them in. You found some other sound banks that you liked that were probably also ready loops, and you put them in a sequence that you preferred or that you liked. Tiny's absolutely right. Some of them didn't even match up with the BPMs, and so it sounded completely offbeat from it and didn't fit. I just have a problem with that because I just don't feel like there was really any real creative effort made on your part. I mean, there may have been. I could be completely wrong, but I'm saying how it sounds like you just found random loops, decided, I like this sound, I like this sound, I like this sound, I'm going to put them in like this and let it play, and how it plays out is what it's going to be. The most creative thing I think you did was your lines you came up with that you would say randomly that basically made no sense with any kind of song or... Yeah, I don't know.
It's almost like a musical
I should just
poet.
say, I should just say, other people might feel it, but it's just not for me. I didn't like it at all.
Now, what is a BPM? What is that?
Beat per minute.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of thought.
Because the drums were at a high tempo, and then when that guitar, especially the guitar, when that was the worst one, it was definitely way off from it. And it just... Actually, the song would have been so much better maybe without putting in that guitar part.
Yeah, I was going to say that guitar didn't really fit in there.
No, at all.
But I was like, half the other stuff didn't really fit anyway.
Well, the other stuff fit better than that did. That was the part that really annoyed me.
Well, for
every time
me,
it came in.
I was, it's like those sounds individually. Like if say you had a phone and you said, "Look at this, I'm gonna push a button, make this sound," and all individually they would crack me up.
Yeah.
Put together as a song, it just sucks to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's this definitely is just not something I don't maybe just because I don't understand it. I don't understand it. To me, I mean, I guess it's like kind of like art. It's how you perceive it, and to me, this just isn't music.
Well, see, but 8-bit, the other 8-bit stuff that we've had here on the show or that we've heard, it's meant for dance music. It's meant to dance to.
Yeah,
and I just don't see people dancing to this.
Yeah, this music for me was useless. I'm sorry, I did not like this song at all. And again, I don't like this type of music,
Right.
or these types of sounds, whatever we want to call it. I'm gonna say music, but I'm using that term very loosely.
You're using it in an artistic perspective.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, this just is not for me. But like Tiny said, if you dig what you're doing, then that's the main thing, and that's very cool. And keep doing it until you don't want to do it anymore. But that's pretty much where I'm at. I would not listen to it again on purpose. Tiny.
Let's see. I would not listen to it again on purpose.
All right, Jeckos.
In the words of the late great host, Lil Joe,
He died?
touche. Touche.
Late.
Yeah, I would not listen to this thing again on purpose. And so that's gonna be a rating, dude. No one's on the show is gonna listen to it again on purpose. But you made an attempt, so I'm not gonna say give up. Just maybe put a little bit more thought into the next
Well,
one.
you said made an attempt, but maybe in his mind he succeeded.
That's true.
You know, I mean,
Maybe that is a success for him.
Yeah, you know, maybe who knows?
Aim higher.
You are.
I'm
If that's what
sorry.
you wanted to do, good job.
Yeah,
I think it sucks, but if you like it, I mean, there's things that I like that you probably think suck. So
That's true.
it is what it is. I
This is
mean,
true.
you know, you dig it, you dig it.
They may think our show sucks, but
Yeah.
we like it.
How could you?
Yeah, that's true.
You're an idiot if you think our show. No, just everyone has different. You know, everyone. You know, different strokes, for different folks, whatever. But
Yep.
yeah. So there you go.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the next segment of the night.
All right, let's see whose segment music am I going to? Do you guys have any preference?
All
I
of them.
love Little Joe's.
They're
Lil,
good.
Lil Joe's?
I love that one.
Makes you happy. It is a good one. That is a good.
Nice.
Okay, let's see. I had a thought the other day, and I wanted to maybe have a discussion. Maybe we won't. Maybe this discussion will be very short.
If not, I maybe got something after.
Okay.
Okay, good.
What kind of a comment?
All right. And I was thinking about I was sitting there listening to the radio, and 102.7 here in Los Angeles is Kiss FM, and that's our top 40. You know, our pop radio station over here.
Ryan Seacrest on there, right?
In the morning, yes.
Yes, Ryan Seacrest in the morning.
And he pays your bills. That's what I
Yes.
see on the sign.
Actually, yeah, I don't know.
I
don't
think
know.
he used to, right? I remember seeing a sign about
Yeah,
that.
he
or
could.
something.
I just, yeah. I don't know.
Hasn't paid mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was listening to the radio, and I was talking to my niece, and because she was singing along with a lot of the songs that were on the radio, and I was like, "This song is stupid,"
Yeah.
and I kept on telling her that this song sucks. This song is retarded, and for every song that came on, I was like, just ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. Okay, and I wanted to get your guys' opinions on what you guys hear on the radio. Like, what do you guys think? Overall, I mean, obviously you guys are going to like some things more than others, but overall, do you feel that the music on the radio has gotten better or worse than, let's say, when we were in high school or when we were coming up?
You know, it's funny because you have this conversation with your parents when you're a kid, and you're listening to what you listen to, and they're saying, the music you listen to now is nowhere near as good as
You
the
always
music
defend your
we-
own generation.
You know, and that's true. But looking at it because there's still a lot of stuff out there that I do like. But here's the thing. The talent level of the artist has dropped off considerably. You no longer have to be able to sing to be a singer because of auto-tuner.
Mhm.
You no longer have to be a lyricist when you rap as long as you got a catchy beat and you're saying something that people can repeat. It has definitely, in a lot of ways, I think, declined from what it used to be. But then there's still those artists out there that push the envelope, that still experiment, and still put out great music.
Yeah.
But as a whole, this whole Justin Bieber generation is kind of just losing me, man.
Dude, at first I thought his name was Justin Bieber because that's what it sounds like they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. That's what I thought too.
And then when I saw him, I was like, "You're the little punk ass that everyone's been talking about."
Yeah.
He looks like a little queer, dude.
Yeah, he does.
I want to punch him. Worse than I want to punch Big Baby Davis. I'm not kidding around. God,
Yeah.
that kid's annoying. I don't even know him. Dude,
Yeah.
I saw him on the MTV like musical awards, and he was like, they're like, like I saw pieces of it, and that Aziz Abib guy, he was like, "Oh, want to get the crowd into it," and then he's all shaking his hair or blow drying his hair.
These girls love that kid's hair. I'm just like,
He looks like he's running backwards really fast.
Yeah.
That's how he got his hair.
Yeah.
He looks like a moron.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's so stupid.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what I really miss most from music is there's no more love in music. You know, there's no more. What I mean by that is when we were still in high school, slow jams were still a prevalent part of popular music.
Oh yeah.
And the slow jam had its purpose, it served its purpose well.
Boning down.
But now there are no more slow jams. There are no more slow songs. Period. It's just like everything. Even the ones that are supposed to be slow songs aren't really slow songs. It's sad because I think the music that has been most affected, because pop has always been pop,
right?
And it's always going to be a popular sounding, not the most deep thought provoking stuff in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? But R&B, I think, has
dance.
truly.
There you go.
Exactly. I think R&B though has suffered most in this generation of music, because R&B, you used to have to be able to sing, harmonize, put out great songs lyrically, and just there was a lot of emotion behind it. But now R&B it's auto tuner. I don't have to be able to sing anymore, and I can sing about stupid stuff, and you're gonna love it because it's got a cool beat, and that's now R&B. It's sad.
Yeah.
I think it's sad.
Yeah, in the chat room, they're saying, I'm truly in fear of what may become of music, quote-unquote music, in the future when I have kids.
Oh, it's gonna be absolutely awful.
Yeah, and so the chat room, I want to welcome at Riff's End to the chat room.
Welcome at Riff's End.
Yeah, and he's saying, I hate autotune.
Yeah, you know what?
Capital letters.
There are still...
Right.
And some people may disagree with me on some of these artists, but there are still artists out there that I feel are still trying to do something that's at least somewhat experimentative as far as with the popular music, and still trying to bring back some talent to the game. I think Justin Timberlake still has a phenomenal voice. I still think he sings well. I think
he's awesome. Let me just say that.
I think Jamie Foxx has a great voice. Jaheim is still around, just still does the music Soul Child. As far as rappers in the game, I think I like Drake because he's not just trying to do a popular dance song. He's actually doing him as an artist, and you never know if he's going to come out singing or if he's going to be rapping or doing something. He's experimenting. Kanye West is the same way, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But everybody who just puts out something just to sound like what's out there and what's hot already, it's sad. It's like you're limiting yourself. You're not trying to... what happened to the Outcasts in the game? The Outcasts was awesome.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They are awesome.
They are. Which we'll call it. Yeah, and so you actually kind of brushed on the point that I wanted to make earlier, is that we've had this exact same conversation with the generation before.
Yeah.
When we're growing up, in in the 90s or whatnot, late 80s, early 90s, the older generation,
our music was a decline to them.
Yeah, they're like, this music is horrible. This music sucks. What happened to this and what happened to that.
See,
and they were saying, a lot of the similar things. Yeah. And I'm sure when they were growing up, they probably had very similar conversations with the generation before them.
See, but I think the difference is though, especially because we know each other. We've all grown up with each other. Our appreciation for music doesn't just extend to our generation. Like, there's music that we love from our parents' generation and from before that. And we're very eclectic with the type of music. I've always just appreciated artists and what they can do. Yeah. And even today, there's still, even the popular music that I say I hate, I still listen to it and to a certain degree enjoy it. But do I think it has the same talent level? No.
Well, you know what?
I can't agree with that.
As far as enjoying it, here's the thing. I don't listen to FM anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, my presets aren't even set. And when if they ever do get set, it's because, like, Coco will set them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't set them. Mm-hmm. I enjoy, listening to the sports talk because one, I love sports, but two, the music just didn't do anything for me, and I would rather, put in a CD, listen to my iPod, listen to what I want, when I want, and not have to go through crap before I get to something that I can actually even semi-enjoy, and and it's I don't know, and with what you said as far as the artist, like the real artist, it's funny because they had asked Prince a while ago, like who he, which he's a phenom, who he liked in the game, and he loved Alicia Keys,
and she's phenomenal.
Because
he's totally agree with that.
He's like, not only can she sing, he's like she plays the piano. He's like she is a talented woman.
Right. You know what? There are a lot of people out there that are talented. In fact, speaking of Alicia Keys, Drake actually wrote her single "Unthinkable" that's on the radio right now. He wrote that, and it's an R&B song.
Okay. So let me throw this out. So, what about those old school people that are comparing voices like Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett, to voices that were maybe a little bit more current, like maybe Jim Morrison? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you think they would have had similar arguments of what you're having? They're saying, these guys are great vocalists, talking about these old school guys.
Right.
But Jim Morrison comes in, and maybe like Bob Dylan, they come in, they have like this weird sound to their voice. They sound like they just came off the street and started singing.
See, but
and they look that way too.
Yeah.
They didn't wear suits.
But there are going to be great voices of every generation, because in that same generation, you can say, you
right.
Can come
but
out,
would you say that's a similar argument to what you're making?
yes and no, only because I'm going to say this. I wouldn't go so much as far as saying vocally, because if you want to compare vocally, yes, Tony Bennett and Frank Sinatra have much better voices than both Jim Morrison and Bob Dylan.
Right.
But lyrically, what they were presenting in their songs, of course, Jim Morrison and Bob Dylan were very deep in thought with what they said and everything.
Tony Bennett and Frank Sinatra both did it their way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they were very pop, and their lyrics were very pop. It didn't take much thought. It didn't take much thought to write their songs.
Yeah,
were they heck of performers? Yes.
Was that just the style back then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could you really blame them?
No, you can't.
As artists,
you can't blame them for that. But what I'm saying is, you can't, at the same token, though, take away from Jim and Bob, though, because
I wasn't taking away from Jim.
Right. But he's saying that's what they would be saying, though. That's what the generation before.
Yeah, the generation before, just like how we're saying. Because I totally agree with you with the whole auto-tune thing.
I think it's a lack of understanding that music does have to change and progress. And I understand that music nowadays has to change and progress. And so I've accepted a lot of the new sounds coming in, especially with hip hop and R&B. But when the artists themselves no longer elevate the game, that's where the problem is. Because Jim Morrison elevated the game, hands down. The Doors, they elevated the game because they changed pretty much rock and roll at that time.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
At the time, here's the thing. Anything from Jimmy to the Doors is way more revered now than it was then.
Yes, because it's probably
they enjoyed it back then, but it's revered now. There's a difference.
Right.
It's not revered. Back then I think it was loved and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But I think that still what you're saying,
the appreciation for it has grown greater.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And I think that what Tiny's saying is still what, even though you said that they changed the game, which is true. You're right, but I guarantee you, the 16-year-olds that were listening to their Doors, their parents were telling them the exact same thing.
That's crap. Turn it off. Yeah.
And so the thought that came to me is, well, is music really in the decline? If every generation is going to say the same thing as the generation before, is music in a decline, or is it just changing?
Failure to accept change.
I think music has gradually been on a steady decline, even further back than that, if you think about it. Because if you think about it, you can go back to a time to where what we now call classical music was the popular music. Bach, Beethoven, Amadeus, Mozart.
But is that a decline? Is that a decline because why is it a decline?
Well, imagine how difficult it is to write a complete symphony than it is to put together a popular song now.
But I think
the simplicity level of a popular song, even in Tony Bennett's time, so much more simpler than composing a full-on symphony or opera. I mean,
but I mean, we got kids like this last guy threw together all these weird, crazy sounds. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he made quote unquote music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So is it necessarily a decline from back then? Obviously, it was different.
Right.
Or was that the natural evolution? That was my thought.
Here's what I think: just because something's harder to do doesn't make it better to everybody.
No, you're absolutely
You
right.
know what I mean?
And I think every generation does have its geniuses too. No, hands down.
Sure.
You have to admit that. You know, music is music. I think, decline or not, I think people are just going to appreciate different things on different levels for whatever reasons they do.
Nice.
You know, and I think what happens is maybe music itself isn't on the decline. Maybe the listener themselves is on the decline. It doesn't take as much to make them as happy now,
Or maybe
or to entertain them as much.
No, it's a decline to our expectations. It's not a decline to the high school kids that are digging it.
Right.
You know, so it's just a decline to what we're used to. Just because we're not used to it, or it's not what we grew up with, because obviously there's certain thing from that we hear from when we were in school,
Right.
that give us good feelings, like give us good memories, and that's what these kids are going to have. So really, music is still doing the same thing to people that it's always done.
Right.
It's just in a different way, unfortunately. And it's not
Yeah.
always appealing to us.
It's funny because I remember my parents were always like, how can you call rappers artists? Because
Oh yeah.
they don't play any instruments. They, all they do is they talk over a beat that's supplied by a record, by a DJ. It's like, how are they artists? How are they musicians?
Right, and in that same breath, like, you're saying about the auto-tuner and stuff, and regardless of how you feel about the auto-tuner, artists that use auto-tuner, are they still artists? Do
Yeah.
they still have to sing? You know what I mean?
And I think it's really based upon perspective, because when it comes to art has always been a very broad and general thing, and music falls under the arts category.
Yeah, we have a couple pretty good comments in the chat room. Tony the Tiger saying music in general hasn't changed. Every generation has their talent. We have to wait and see who is the real talent. At Riff's Ends is saying, I think artists are straying away from melody.
Oh yeah.
And Tony the Tiger said, it will take years to see the cream. Yes, melodies so missing.
Wait, what was the first thing Tony the Tiger said? I don't think.
Saying every generation has their talent.
Yeah.
And we have to wait and see.
Oh, I thought he
who
said
has the
that
real
that
talent.
music hasn't changed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I said. Music in general hasn't changed.
Sure, it has.
Yeah.
I think it's constantly changing.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's kind
it's,
of.
It's evolving.
I agree with everything except that.
It's just, what is it evolving to? What's the next step?
Yeah. What's the next step? Maybe weird stuff like that last guy. Maybe what was
hope
that other
not.
guy name? Taylor Hattie.
Taylor Hattie.
Yeah,
I
maybe
hope
Taylor
not.
Hattie music. You know what I'm saying?
I hope not.
10 years from now, that might be the business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You never.
Yeah.
I mean, I pray to God. I don't want my son having CDs of Taylor Hattie, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Maybe J-Mac will become king.
Yeah. And so yeah,
he's gonna be laughing at us.
yeah.
It's like,
We're still gonna be broke doing the show, and he's all rich.
Yeah, and so it was just interesting having this conversation, with my niece, and then, just coming to these thoughts, this is the same thing that I've heard when I was growing up,
Sure.
Stuff like that. And so the question that I really had to ask was like, well, is music really on the decline, or is it just our personal preference in the music is not where it,
Here's
music
the
is evolving
thing.
and we're kind of staying in the same place.
I'm going to use this as an example because this was an impressive thing that I recently experienced. Speaking of the artists themselves, the level of a talent of an artist today and then back in the days, whatever. Well, this week I had the experience to go see Diana Ross in concert. Now, you hear Diana Ross and you think, that old lady's still performing. One, she's almost 70 years old. But she freaking looked amazing.
She's supreme.
She looked phenomenal. Two, most headliners now have like 2 or 3 groups that open before them and they perform maybe for like an hour or so. No openers, nobody else performed at almost 70 years of age for 2 hours straight, nonstop, and then came out and did 2 15 to 20 minute encores after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's because she's Diana Ross.
And
She has that much material.
you would think, well, yeah. And 3, you would think after almost probably 40, 50 plus years of singing, her voice be somewhat shot. It sounds just as good as it did back then.
Well,
Like,
no, I don't think it'll get shot because you listen to Tony Bennett and Frank Sinatra in their old age. And
well,
they
I
still
mean,
sound good.
I only say that
Yeah.
because there have been other artists that I have heard And like when I heard them sing, I was like, oh, that's horrible. Like
maybe if their voice is false, like Whitney Houston,
like Martha, like Martha Reeves from Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. I saw her at a show one time perform, and like her voice, I think she had used it so much that like she shot it, like the voice box was shot, like it just sounded bad, like she was just warbling.
Was blood coming out of her mouth?
Yeah,
I don't know why I just pictured that.
that's Whitney Houston, man.
but I'm just sitting there looking at this woman performing, and she sounds as good as I've heard the records on the radio for years.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, that's impressive to me. And I wonder, well, how many artists, I mean, I'm sure there's a handful of artists that could still probably do that in our generation now, but how many really in years to come will be at that level, like.
Well, it doesn't surprise me as much as it surprises you, because I mean, because Barbara Streisand, she still puts on a good show.
This is true.
You know what I mean? And her tickets sell for freaking
$1 million.
$1 million a ticket. You know what I'm saying? $1 million. Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Hey, Neil Diamond.
Is that guy still alive? Is that guy still alive?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's just as good.
Yes, of course he is.
Hey, I would go to a Neil Diamond concert in a second.
Yes. Neil Diamond. His music was awesome, man. That's all I'm saying.
Awesome.
Oh, did I say was?
Yes.
Shame on me.
Come on, man.
you.
He'll come to America
today.
My country, 'tis a thee.
You know what's so funny is when I was like 15, I thought that was the corniest bastard ever.
Yeah.
And the older I got, the more I was like, this guy is legit.
Yeah.
I realized how bomb he was.
Anybody who could come up with the name Cracklin' Rose.
Cracklin' Rosie, get on board.
That's good.
That song is dope, man.
All right, so thanks a lot for participating in my segment. Let's get an outro song here.
Yeah.
Let's do this song.
Yeah, we'll talk about my topic another time.
If you wanna be my number one,
I do, Tiny.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Tony the Tiger and at Rips End for chiming in.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, they're saying Bon Jovi's voice doesn't sound the same as it once did.
This is true.
Yeah, that's
Neither
true.
does Whitney Houston's or Lauryn Hill.
Have a nice day.
Yeah,
awful.
Lauryn Hill because she smoked too much weed.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston
Dang
because
weed.
She
Too
wasted
much crack.
She wasted herself, huh?
Too much crack. Crack is whack.
Crack is Look it.
Bon Jovi
I make
because his
millions of
voice
dollars.
finally matured.
Crack is
His sack dropped.
Oh, it's all. Oh, this is my real voice.
Prince
Crap.
still has his voice.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Prince is one of the all-time greats, though.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna give him a pass on that Viking song that he did.
Yes.
Purple and gold. Sorry, my man. P, you're better than that. You know what I'm saying? You're better than that.
Oh, man.
Oh boy.
I think he was dared to do it.
Yeah, maybe someone's like,
Maybe he lost a bet
yeah, imagine that. They're like, you gotta put out the cheesiest, crappiest song.
for your team.
Oh my gosh. That's worse than wearing the opposing team's jersey.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, let's get into this last song. This group is called Revelry, and they do indie rock out of West Lothian, Scotland.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Revelry are a 5-piece female vocal-driven rock band who play.
They're all females,
upbeat,
you said?
Rocky. I think it's just female vocals.
Good enough.
Who play upbeat, rocky stuff.
I have a boner right now.
We're never
really?
sure how
Just
to
about.
categorize
Wow.
ourselves, and we all like different music, but we love to rock.
Yeah.
We've been gigging since summer 2009, and it just recorded a self-titled EP
Kick it again.
with 6 diverse sounding songs. We have a blast on stage, and we're really looking forward to promoting the recording with lots of gigs around Scotland this summer.
Right.
And the name of this song, oh shoot,
That's a weird.
That's a weird name for a song, yeah.
actually, the name of the song is No Way.
No way.
Way. And this is Revelry with No Way.
Wait.
You work me to the bone. I got nothing left. You strip me to the core. Now I'm an empty shell.
that was Revelry with No Way. If you want to listen to more of their music, you can listen to them at myspace.com/ and you're probably going to have to look on our page for this because it's kind of weird. It looks like either 0 or Q. That would be capital Q. Revelry, and then again that same 0 or Q. So just go to our page and then copy paste. Also twitter.com/Revelry Rocks. And you can find their music on cdbaby.com/Revelry3. And that's REVELRY3. If you want to listen to them live, you can
Go to Scotland.
yeah, you can if you're in Scotland. You can
Bring your dog.
June 19th. I can't write.
No way.
June 19th, The Moorings in Aberdeen. If you want to email them for anything, you can email louise.sedgwick at googlemail.com. That's LOUISE.SEDGEWICK. All right, let's do it.
All right, Jackals.
Revelry from Scotland with the song No Way. Here's the thing. Don't hate you, don't love you. It wasn't a bad song. There was nothing really that annoyed me about it, but in the same token, there was nothing that really stood out to me that made me say, "Wow, this group's phenomenal. This group is something that I'm really gonna vibe and enjoy." I thought her vocals were fine. I thought the bass was fine, guitar was fine, melody was fine. It was okay.
Everything was just okay for you.
Yeah, it was just really just okay.
Okay. Well, no way. I thought the intro was very cool. It teased me a little bit. I'm pretty much with you. Everything was cool. Was okay. I think I liked the music a little better than the vocals. She reminded me of Tia Carrere when she sings on Wayne's World.
Okay.
So she reminded me of not an awful voice, but not a wowing voice. I thought that when she kind of did the more talk singing, it sounded better than when she. To me, I think she's a little bit better of a singing voice, But when she kind of did the slower, almost talking, I thought that sounded really good. But yeah, you guys. I mean, I'm pretty much with Jekyll. You guys have a cool sound. It's a cool song. It's all right. I mean, yeah, I didn't get wowed, but I wasn't like, gosh, take this, out of my headphones. So I'm probably pretty much where Jekyll's is at.
There you
go. Tiny?
Really quick, the chat room saying needs better quality recording.
Yes.
Funky intro.
Yeah.
A nice, smooth, rolling song, something that you could hear on the radio. Her voice was weird. What she gave it with all her heart. So I can hate that.
Her voice was weird.
Joe?
What she gave it with all her
Tony
heart.
the Tiger.
So I can hate that.
Her voice was weird. What she gave it with all her heart. So I can hate that.
We know what you meant, Tony.
I don't.
Let's see.
She sang it with all her heart, so we can't hate on that.
Okay, I didn't know.
Even though her voice sounded weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
I dug her voice, but I think she needs to train. Like she needs to practice singing. But I like the way her voice sounds, and I like the feel of the music. I thought the band was real cool. It had kind of this laid back, funky rock feel. Kind of throwback to I don't know, some laid back, funky rock feel.
Nice.
Older band.
Circa 1992.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought I liked the style of the music, but definitely need to get a better recording.
Yeah.
Good call, Tony. I totally forgot to say that, and I thought it, and I forgot to say it.
Yeah.
I purposely didn't say it because everyone gets mad when I say everything at the beginning part.
I don't get mad.
Well, no.
Yeah, who
That's
gets
true.
mad?
Who gets mad?
Oh, no, that was just one guest host.
Yeah, and then I give him a shine, and he totally climbed up. I said, all
Are
right.
we talking about the helmet?
Yes, yes, we are.
The helmet.
Shout out to the helmet.
What's up, Deal Dizzy?
Feel dizzy.
Yeah, so I thought pretty good job. I think the music was really cool. Had a really cool feel for me, and that's where I'm at.
All right, and go ahead and LimeWire.
Okay, I'll do just that.
I'll do just that
I'm wired.
with the finger. I'll do just that. That was funny. All right, Jekos.
I will second that motion.
Yeah, it was between a radio and Lime for me, but I did enjoy the music, and what Tiny said is right. Her tone is cool.
Right.
Just like we said, she needs a little work, but
It'll work.
the music, the intro did work for me. Like Tony the Tiger said, that intro was cool.
There it is.
So I'm gonna get my Lime on.
Well, there it is. Unanimous decision, best rating of the night. You guys earned a LimeWire Bowl. People are going to download your music illegally. So congrats to you guys, and keep it rocking in Scotland.
Yeah.
All right.
At Riff's End would like to play a show with you guys, but you're in Scotland
Oh, that sucks.
and they're not.
Just go to Scotland.
Just go
Yeah.
to Scotland, dude.
Come on, dude. Just go to Scotland.
I picture everybody having those little white dogs, those little Scottish terriers.
Scotty dogs.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
And wearing kilts. Is that what they wear? Don't they wear kilts?
In Scotland, yeah, and they play bagpipes. Everybody there plays bagpipes.
Right? Is it kind of like the same thing? Like
Everybody.
all Asian people know karate?
Yep.
Because
much.
I think that's true.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you would like to know anything else about any of the artists that were played today, you can find out all their contact information and their bios on our page, the NobodyCaresShow.com page.
Yes.
So go ahead and check that out. Also, if you'd like to download our show to your MP3 players, you can do so at iTunes Store or at Zune Marketplace. Feel free to subscribe. It is free.
Yeah.
And, you get hours of endless enjoyment.
Hours.
The thing is, in this economy, something that's free and this good,
Hello.
it's almost like you're robbing us.
You
know what I
in a way,
mean?
in a way, yes.
Like,
in a way, yes.
you know what I mean? It's this highway robbery.
We don't have to do this.
No way, but you're welcome.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
All right. If you would like to be an artist on the show, hit us up at nobodycareshow@gmail.com. Email us, and we will let you know what you need to do to get your song submitted.
Mm-hmm.
And also, go to our link on our page that says Nobody Cares Show Clothing Store.
Do it.
We have all kinds of cool clothes, little gizmos, cups, hats,
Do it. Go now. Do
hot,
it.
hot materials.
Do it. Get them. While supplies last.
Yeah, they're about to run out.
Go. Get the last one. Do
Yeah,
it. Do it.
Hey, do it.
Go now. Do
All right,
it.
we want to shout out Tony the Tiger and at Riff's End.
What's up, man?
Thanks
up,
for
guys.
joining us in the chat room.
For sure, man.
If you want to check out at Riff's End music, you can go to facebook.com/@riffsend, myspace.com/@riffsend, and purevolume.com/@riffsend.
Nice.
And Tony the Tiger, no links. So if you want to,
Check out a box of
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes and
if you want to support Tony,
High five it.
yeah, get some Frosted Flakes. They're great.
there it is. Shouts out to O Squared and O Squared Entertainment.
Bump that fool.
Good luck getting back.
Just kidding.
I don't know how you got back that first time.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's
He's
a
all,
sneak.
it wasn't hard. They just held the fence up for me. I did a little crawling and swimming, and
It wasn't hard. He's all, hey, he was down here last weekend. He's all, I left 2 weekends ago. I dug a trench. Very sneaky. He's all, they don't know me. I'm very sneaky.
Very, very sneaky.
wow.
All right, we are out.
Peace.
Peace.